applause. Capri. Oh, I like that. All right, I look good for a black man up here. Oh, all right. Welcome to the show tonight. Welcome to Community News, which you can use. I'm John Martin.
And this is Gloria Howard.
Thank you. We got a great show tonight for you. And we have Mr. Michael Rainville in the house. And we have Mr. Perry. He's a candidate running for mayor. We're going to get to some community news that they're having. They are having a Halloween party at the Capri Theater. That's a Halloween party at the Capri Theater. That will be this coming Saturday, October the 30th, from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Capri Plaza up there on West Broadway. Bring your kids. There'll be a trick-or-treat Halloween party. They have food, candy, and costume contests. And bring your kids out there for a safe Halloween environment. Bring them out there where they can enjoy the community in a safe environment. Don't forget to mask up and wear your mask if that's required. Gloria?
All right. And for those of you who are NAS families, the Northside Achievement Zone is going to partner with the Boys, Big Brothers and Big Sisters Club, and they are actually having a Halloween get-together to celebrate the families that are participants in their program. And their event is also October the 30th from 1 until 4 p.m.
All right. That's right. So this is a community, and if you have a community that news or an event that's coming up, and we'd like for us to put it on our show, please don't hesitate to email us to let us know. And we're talking about things that's happening in the community. Now, for all the Uber Lyft drivers and cab drivers, it's sad that they are being robbed at gunpoint over here in North Minneapolis, and the madness have to stop. So for all the cab drivers that get phone calls to go over North Minneapolis, do pickup and South Minneapolis, just be cautious and be careful, because remember one thing, all money ain't good money. So your life is more important, and be visible and be wise as well. That's also. Right.
And community, take a look. If you see something, say something. That's the only way we're going to get better.
That's right. We are community news. We want to bring you news that's happening right here in our city. Community news. And we are so happy today, again, as I say, to have Mr. Michael Rainville. And I'm going to hear my applause in the house. And we're going to give him the opportunity to actually tell us a little bit about him and why he's running for 3rd Ward City Council.
Okay, and with that, we'd like to welcome Mr. Michael Rainville. It's on you.
Okay, thank you very much. We want to run the
okay.
loop.
Yep, he's going to run the ad right now before we bring our guests.
Friends, we're so close to bringing back common sense to the Minneapolis City Council, but I need you to go out and vote. In the past 10 months, I've had the pleasure of meeting so many of you and listening to your concerns. You want a city that's safe for everyone. You want a city that's fair, just, and welcoming to all. And you want a council member who represents your needs, not their own personal agenda. I have lived in the 3rd Ward and worked in the 3rd Ward all my life. I didn't move here to run for office and promote my own personal agenda. Please, I need you to go out and vote for change. Vote for Michael Rainville. Help me heal this city. I'm Michael Rainville, and I approve this message.
All right, I like that. Applause.
I like
Give my
that.
applause. Yeah, sound. Yeah, I like that. A little louder. Applause. Come on, a little louder. You know what? I sing a lot of commercial ads, but I tell you, this one right here knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
It's very, very detailing what we're going through in our city. And he said one thing, is the healing that's in our city that he wants to have us to come together. Gloria?
Yeah. The part about it for me is he's lived here all his life.
Right.
That's crucial because that's the investment right there. That's the investment.
Yes.
And that's what we look for. We want someone to invest in us, not just come here for political gain and then in about 8 years, oh, I'm running for mayor. We want the investment.
Well, you
Thank
don't have to worry about me running for mayor, Gloria. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to continue the journey that I've had for the last 10 months, which is to listen to people
Yes.
and understand what the constituents want. And most of all, listen to the Black community. So I'm so excited and honored to have to be on your show, to have you invite me.
Thank you.
Because,
Thank you.
you know, as a white man, I don't ever profess to speak for the Black community, but I need advice from the Black community.
That's right.
And so I look forward to being on your show many times.
All right, we'd love to have you.
Of course.
I look forward to when there's a crisis, and you know there's going to be another one, that I could call you up and say, Gloria, John, you know, what should I do?
Absolutely.
And I'm so fortunate to have someone like Mayor Sharon Sales Belton endorsing me and supporting me.
Oh, wow.
You know, Sandra Samuels, Don Samuels.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, just I had a chance a little bit earlier, you'll hear from Mr. Perry, but we were talking about what's it like to run on the campaign trail. And you meet the most fascinating people. Wow. And you just learn, your brain just expands from the knowledge. But I say that because I met a wonderful young African-American man named Marcus Hunter. And Marcus wrote an editorial to the Star Tribune back in March saying that living in North Minneapolis was like living in a graveyard. Because when you walk outside, the trees are wrapped like and with the name of the person who got shot. And it's like a tombstone, and flowers are put by the tree. And it was so, he was 18 years old, and he wrote like a poet of decades of experience. Just a great young man. And we had a good conversation about public safety and what it meant to the Black community. And, you know, he advised me that, yes, the police need a lot of help. They're not as good as they could be, should be. They're not respectful as they should be. But for North Minneapolis and all of Minneapolis, the police are needed. We need police.
Yeah.
And I just take that advice I'm getting from the Black community right to my heart.
That's actually good that at least one candidate that wants to engage the African and get, you know, our outlook on certain things. Gloria, anything else?
Yeah, I do. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you, Michael, is I can cross this one off because you answered that. Right. Okay. One of the questions is the plans that you have. Can you just talk a little bit about your agenda for Ward 3 in Minneapolis?
So I've been doing this for really over a year. Last September, October, I made the phone calls to see, would I have the support? Is this a good idea? Do I have what it takes? And the answers were yes. By November of last year, I had started to fill out my paperwork for the campaign, got a website up, started lining up my media, and I publicly announced on December 12th outside of Elsie's Bowling Alley, the social center of Northeast here, and where I grew up. I just grew up a couple blocks away and still live a few blocks away. So in those ensuing 10 months, I listened a lot. I made it a point to go everywhere in the ward, whether it was the Marcy Homes neighborhood in the Southeast, the North Loop, Mill District, and just spent a lot of time. So my agenda is really the people's agenda. And what I will do is what people are telling me that the city needs to do better to make their lives better. And we're only a week away from election. Should I win, I am not going to wait and sit on my behind until January. I'm going to immediately start forming a series of committees and invite everybody in the ward to come. And that would be housing, policing, a multitude of topics to start understanding what we together as people of Ward 3 can bring down to City Hall for the people's agenda.
Okay.
And just be an old-fashioned politician, old-fashioned in that I'm going to listen to people and I'm going to know that my time here is temporary, that I'm just holding a seat until the next election. And during that time, I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds great.
Sound good.
I was listening to you, and when you was talking about Marcus, the young man who wrote the editorial for Over North, and it kind of touched me a little bit because when you were speaking about that, I just kind of visualized what if they took all of that grief and pain and maybe put it into one location where there was a peace park or something like that over north, or somewhere in the city where people could go, and that's where they could, sit and, maybe memorialize or whatever they were going to do, and then start to just revitalize the community a little bit to bring more joy.
Gloria, that is a really good idea.
You got to turn the mic up.
Turn my mic up?
No, tell the producer to turn the mics up.
Oh, okay. But the next time we're in Boom Island Park together, there is a memorial, a survivor's memorial for sexual violence.
Okay.
So it would be closer to Nicollet Island. It's on a little rise. It's simply a couple benches to reflect, and there's some beautiful art that's made of a mosaic to represent that shattered lives can be put together and be beautiful.
Okay. I'm going to go down there and see that.
I know the young lady. I have to give her kudos, Sarah Super, who was kind of a lead in that, a neighbor, and she had a bad incident. And as part of her healing, she came to realize there was no place to go, as you just said. And as I've walked by, even though it took years to get done, once that permission was given by the park board and things were moving forward, people just come to heal themselves because they knew that was their spot. And what a great idea you have, whether it's in North Minneapolis or the South Side.
Yes.
Let's have a spot where people can come and heal from the violence. And let's keep talking about that because I like good ideas, and I like to get them done.
Yes, and I like healing. I love your theme of healing. That's what we need.
Now, on this police reform, Mr. Rainville, how do you feel about that when they say vote yes or vote no?
Okay, so John, if you keep calling me Mr. Rainville, I'm going to get mad at you. So,
all right,
my name is Michael.
Mr. Michael. Okay.
So, of course, we need reform. We need to have the best police force. The murder of George Floyd was a dark, dark day. It was a stain on the soul of Minneapolis, and we need to absolve that stain by becoming the best police force, from going from the worst to the best. And the way you do that is through reform, through a thoughtful process. I have some policies on my website that I believe can help get us there. And it all starts with recruiting. It starts with going to the elders in the African-American community. I would love to talk to the Bishop Howell, Reverend McAfee, and say, what can we do to incentivize the youth to become police officers, firefighters, ambulance drivers, school teachers? We have to get our youth to become part of the system, to be on the inside. If you look how people became part of our American culture, it was through these civic jobs. And so I think for the police to spend a lot more time and effort recruiting from the community, there was a program called, it was called the, I'm blanking on it now, it was Cadet Service Organization, CSO, where the police and the fire department as well would go into the high schools and say, this is what it takes to be a firefighter. This is the education you need, the school you have to go to. And back in 2019, because this council started taking away Rondo's resources, they totally don't respect Chief Arredondo, and I think that's a big part of our problem. You have to respect the chief of police.
Yes.
And they started taking, the first budget they did, they started pulling money back. Well, Charlie Adams had actually started this cadet service officer program. Charlie is now the inspector in the 4th precinct. He's a top cop on the north side. And there were 25 young women and men of color, mostly Latino, that they had recruited, and they were paying their tuition. to go to junior college to get their law enforcement degree, paying them a little stipend, having them do little odd jobs, learning about the way to do policing right, as Charlie Adams would do. Charlie Adams is a great law professional, but they had to cut that out of the budget. The city council took that away. So imagine that was $219. Here it is, $221. They would have finished their 2 years of school, and you would have bilingual young women, young men, black, that experience that they would bring, and that's just so short-sighted. So that's why I say recruiting is necessary. More training, especially culturally sensitive training, monitoring use of force, and by doing a little bit here and a little bit there, we can make drastic change, big change.
Oh yeah.
Big change.
And you're absolutely right. Everything you just said hit on it and touched everything that I would be thinking as well. That's needed to help create the change that we
Gloria,
need.
if I could add one more to that. Again, this has been such a great learning process for me. I heard on the radio one morning Charlie Adams Jr.
Oh.
So Charlie Adams Jr. was a law enforcement officer like his father. He was the school liaison for North High and the head football coach for North High.
Okay.
So Charlie not only helped keep the kids at North High safe, he taught them the structure that comes on a team sport. Being that male role model. And again, Mr. Perry and I talked about that need for role modeling. I'm sure he's going to touch on that a little when he's on. But think how short-sighted that was. So Charlie's gone out of the school. To his credit, he still continues to coach at North High.
Okay.
But he left the police force because he felt that the elected officials, not only were they trashing, and I mean trash, Chief Arredondo, they were trashing law enforcement in general.
Yeah.
And who wants to work in that environment?
Yep.
So, we lost a great community leader when Charlie left. And now he runs security for the Minnesota Twins. He's a talented man.
Wow.
But we're not benefiting from his talents like we could.
Yeah, and we know just from being in these communities, and it doesn't matter where you are, but if you keep hearing something over and over and over, whether it's negative or whether it's positive, then all of a sudden that becomes the culture of that area. So instead of us giving all the negative on the police department, okay, let's all get together and try to come up with something positive that we can kind of infuse in there and create a positive environment that's going to help the community and our law enforcement.
Now, how do you feel about the city budget?
Well,
they keep on slashing the budget, cutting the budget, slashing the budget. It's like they just keep cutting the budget.
Community items that we need,
and certain things that from the community that we need is not on that agenda. So how you feel about?
Well, I learned the system. So for 35 years I worked for the Minneapolis Convention and Visitors Association. That was my professional life, and I helped build up downtown as part of the team that filled the convention center, brought in events like the Super Bowl. This spring, there's the women's NCAA tournament, and that in that growth, we created 36,000 jobs for the citizens of Minneapolis in the hotels and restaurants. 36,000 jobs. When I would speak when an event was coming to town, I'd speak to the service organizations. I would talk about driving from my home in Northeast over to Plymouth Bridge, going through the warehouse district when the town was full, when the hotels were full, and the restaurants were getting their deliveries daily because they couldn't keep enough hamburger in and flowers and beer because everybody was working. And that. So I learned that about how important jobs were, and that's a big gap that the city council has turned their back on, is creating good paying jobs. But as a volunteer, I volunteered with the St. Anthony Western Neighborhood Group. That's the area of town I live in.
And then too about this rent control. How do you feel about that? They should. I think that rent should be capped. Do you think it should be capped at a certain amount? That people can ask for low income, not as well as for low income, but for people that's middle class too. Because I think that's a big problem here in the city is actually these old big buildings going up, and is half of these buildings, are they affordable?
So John, I'll just finish my thought on volunteering for the St. Anthony West neighborhood. I saw in these neighborhood groups genius, and when they were well funded, before the budget cuts affected them, they gave a lot of good ideas to the city council, to the city, because they live there. They're there every day, and to not properly fund the neighbor groups, the Hawthorne Council, the Jordan Council, that is where the genius and the great ideas come from. So that we have to really look at that and refund the neighborhood groups in the community. As well as the 21 days of violence. When I see the Reverend McAfee out on the corner and the other ministers and the volunteers, we need to help them financially so they can do their jobs.
Correct. I agree.
And to talk about rent control and housing in general, what I've learned and what people have told me is, and I believe this in my heart, that housing is a human right. Everybody needs to go home at night and have that nice pillow to lay their head on and recharge their bodies and get whole again and get out the next day and work or volunteer and live your life. And housing is so important. So we the city has recognized that somewhat, but there's too dysfunctional at the city council level to get the money in here from the county, from the state, from the federal government, from foundations, work with the developers.
Yep.
It's a multitask issue to create that housing. And again, what I'm learning in my neighborhood, there's been over 500 units of housing put up, but they're all built towards young single people. 90% of those units are studios or one bedrooms. To park underground costs $195 a month. It's just not affordable.
Yeah, it's not. I was kind of researching some myself, and that's what I've been finding. I didn't even know we had, so many penthouses in just right downtown. It's a lot of them.
I don't know. Do we have any penthouses in the hood?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Right.
I doubt it.
No,
Well,
we ain't got no penthouse in North Minneapolis.
You know what?
South Minneapolis.
You might be a target for a pickoff if you're way up in there.
Wow.
That,
We might get a chance to build some. If we get Mr. Rainville and then Mr. Perry, they might can build some penthouses.
Well, there is a nice project going up, focused on seniors on West Broadway with Tim Baylor. Tim Baylor and his development company. And so Tim Baylor is of the community. He lives in North Minneapolis. He's a proven developer. Why are we not bending over backwards to listen to Tim to help Tim Baylor?
You know what that is? That is so many people don't know that. People don't know that Tim Baylor owns the McDonald's that's on West Broadway. Black man that owns the McDonald's in Robbinsdale on Broadway is also too. So we got young entrepreneurs that's in our neighborhood that own that we don't even know about at all.
That's right.
That Tim Baylor was thinking about building. I think right up on the corner of I think that's Aldrich, not Bryant, right there. He owned a little storefront building right there. And when I was told that they wanted to try to tear it down and build housing right there on that spot right there. But that's a good thing that you brought up, Michael. That's real good. But Michael, we appreciate for having you here tonight on the show, and for all the people that's listening to us, my friends, your friends, Gloria friends, everybody friends that live in the third ward. I want you to get out and support and vote. Vote. Make Michael your first choice, ranked choice, right? Ranked choice.
Yes.
When you go to vote, community news, you can use. We formally endorse Mr. Michael Rainville for Third Ward City Council. So everybody that's out there, Third Ward, vote for him. Give him your support. He needs your support. We're going to look at this one more commercial of Mr. Michael Rainville, and we'll be back with our second guest, Mr. Perry, running for mayor. Run that commercial.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No problem at all. Thank you for having him till he get the commercial up there, and we're gonna switch. So thank you so much for coming out, Ms. Rainville.
And before, as we're waiting for the commercial to be run again, I just thank you, Gloria and John. I always remember the first time I'm going to be here on your show. And because there's going to be many more.
Many more.
Yes, we want to get these out because there could be somebody else listening out there, and maybe they are in the North Side, and they may hear something you say and say, you know what, let me give him a call, and that sparks something.
All right, there that commercial go.
Friends, we're so close to bringing back common sense to the Minneapolis City Council, but I need you to go out and vote. In the past 10 months, I've had the pleasure of meeting so many of you and listening to your concerns. You want a city that's safe for everyone. You want a city that's fair, just, and welcoming to all. And you want a council member who represents your needs, not their own personal agenda. I have lived in the 3rd Ward and worked in the 3rd Ward all my life. I didn't move here to run for office and promote my own personal agenda. Please, I need you to go out and vote for change. Vote for Michael Rainville. Help me heal this city. I'm Michael Rainville, and I approve this message.
Oh. All right. We are back, and again, we thank Mr. Michael Rainville for being our guest tonight, and all the ones that stay in the 3rd Ward. You stay in that 3rd Ward, please go out and support Mr. Rainville for 3rd Ward city councilman. Thank you so much. Now, we got a second guest in the house, and she's going to talk about the ranked choice that you've been seeing people holding them signs up out there like me: vote yes, vote no, vote yes, vote no. And Miss Gloria going to introduce our guest to us, and I got to hear some clapping music, my applause. Come on.
Yes.
Gloria, introduce our guest.
Okay, so we have Mrs. Shameka Bogan in the house. Okay, welcome. And she is all I can say is all around. If you need it, if you need to know it, if you need to see someone, you need to see her.
That's right. I had a
She
chance.
is, yes.
She know what, she's awesome. I had a chance to meet her for the very first time. A little slim, little skinny little girl running around. Running around doing multitask. I don't see how a person can do multitask. I can't even do one multitask. Now she's gonna explain to us tonight. Now, what's the ranked choice mean for this? I can't even pronounce it. Getting rid of the police department. Vote yes, vote no. So we're gonna give her the opportunity to explain to you what's ranked choice mean.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for having me. So thank you, John. Thank you, Miss Gloria,
You're
for having
welcome.
me. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Specifically, I'm talking about question number 2. So for Minneapolis residents, question number 2 has been a big debate. It has been really dividing our community, and people have really been back and forth about whether to vote yes or vote no. So I want to start with reading the question, because I think it's very important for people to hear it for themselves and not just hear just what I think.
Okay, you hear that? Now she's finna go ready to read it to you. So put your ears to turn the phone up, turn the volume up, so you can understand exactly what you are voting for.
Yep. Okay. So question number 2.
Question 2.
On the Minneapolis ballot says, shall the Minneapolis City Charter be amended to remove the police department and replace it with a Department of Public Safety that employs a comprehensive public health approach to the delivery of functions by the Department of Public Safety, with those specific functions to be determined by the mayor and city council by ordinance, which will not be subject to exclusive mayoral power over its establishment, maintenance, and command, which could include peace officers, which are also known as police officers, if necessary, to fulfill its responsibilities for public safety, with the general nature of the amendments being briefly indicated in the explanatory note below, which is made a part of this ballot. And then the note below that explains it, and this is what people will see on their ballot.
Okay,
so
you see that?
This language is right here. People can find it online if they're looking for a sample ballot.
Now that's vote no.
Nope, this is just the question.
That's the question.
So it's yes or no. And then there's a note at the bottom. I'm going to read the note so that you can hear what it says. It says the amendment would create a Department of Public Safety combining public safety functions through a comprehensive public health approach to be determined by the mayor and city council. The department would be led by a commissioner nominated by the mayor and appointed by the council. The police department and its chief would be removed from the city charter. The public safety department could include police officers, but the minimum funding requirement would be eliminated.
Wow. So that's a lot of stuff to read when you go in there and trying to vote. I mean, you got to sit there for about, a minute or two to read all that.
And most people will not read.
And do you really think that people really should make it? Do you really think that the African American community, all honesty, do you think they really understand this?
I don't. In my opinion, I don't think that people understand it because even us talking about it and reading
I don't
it,
understand
I've read this so many different times. And it is, it's a lot of words. It's a lot of wordsmithing things. I don't think that the average person understands it. Okay. I think they go based off of what people around
I got a
think.
question.
Yes,
I'm going to say this. For me, listening to it now that it's been read, because I was under the impression, okay, they're talking about just doing away with the police department as we know it. And we'll have a Department of Public Safety, but I don't see where they really talk about the actual policing of our community. So the thing that came to my mind was, if we do not have active policing of our community, but we have public safety and we may have peace officers, how is this going to affect funding when we want to have infrastructure brought into North Minneapolis, or if we want to attract anything monetarily that'll help our community? How is this going to affect that?
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say in general, it's very vague. It is, the questions that you're asking are the questions that a lot of people ask. There's so many questions with it, and I think that's what makes people uncomfortable about it. So getting to your question on the vote yes or vote no, what I recommend for people is to vote no just because of how vague it is. I think that when it first came up, it seemed like a popular tagline of defund the police, and even our own city council in Minneapolis have now retracted their statements from that because we realize that there's a lot more that goes with that. And so I think just, to see language like this on a ballot and to hear it say it could, that like it's not it shall or it will.
Right.
It's not a both and approach, which is what I think a lot of us want. I'm not saying that we don't need police reform, because we definitely do.
Yes,
there
absolutely.
are some bad police officers, just like there's bad in anything else. There's definitely things that need to be changed, but the vagueness of this and the uncertainty and all the questions that come along with it is what makes me afraid for what will happen to Minneapolis if this passes.
Let's say if it passes. Let's say if this passes, what will it look like? And what can the community leaders, pastors, or organizations, what can they tell the Black community if this happens? I'm serious. If this really happens.
Yep. So one thing that's in the language of it, when you look at the actual language of it, if this was to pass, they would have 30 days to dismantle the police department.
You mean tell me they'd be at 30 days?
30 days.
So that'd be 30 days of people running around the city, burning down the city.
I mean, 30 days for the police department to be gone. So it would be 30.
I'm saying, so out of those 30 days, do you think people would just, it's something really to really think about. I mean, just to be ready and be cautious, because you're going to have some fools out there going to take advantage of it. I mean, I should say they're going to take advantage of it. I want to say they're going to take some fools going to take advantage of it. And how would our city, how would it look like? I mean, just if they really pass it. So if I'm getting beat up, if somebody beat me up, a lot of people might want to beat me up right now. So if I get beat up, who can I call? Can I call 911 to say I'm getting beat up, or they'll say, I'm sorry, 911 has been dismounted. Please call public safety. So it'd be a different number instead of 911. So would it be 911 or would it be 811?
So John, that's my point exactly. It's very vague. There's no plan, and that is the thing. There is not a full
that
plan.
Was my next question.
So tell me all these city council ones, all these smart ones, the smart ones that got all these bachelor's degrees, went to school for this and lawyers and did all this. You mean to tell me that them fools and sit there and put this thing to actually together, and I'm quite sure they don't understand themselves. Because what do you think with any attorney? Because all of them on city council is smart. They are smart people. I mean, half of them got business degrees. You go to the office downtown here, you see a wall full of awards, trophies, and everything. Can you imagine that them putting this to actually together? And how do the state senators or the state representatives, how do the governor feel about this? I know you can't speak for the governor's office, but how do you think people that's down there at the state feel about this? The House?
Right. I mean, it's definitely, there's been statements put out, I'm not speaking for them, but there's been statements put out that the governor, is in favor of the no vote. That there are certain electeds that are in favor of the no vote. There are a lot of community leaders that are in favor of the no vote because of the uncertainty around it, because of what it would do to our city. If we look at the level of violence that's happening now in Minneapolis, and we've all heard it, that we're already down police officers from what Chief Rondo says that we needed to be at.
131.
The number is really low. Like, to be where we're supposed to be, I believe the number's like 11 or 1,200. Okay. Wow. I know a while back we were down to 500 and something. I know 2 weeks ago I was in a meeting and I think that number is like 319 or so. Wow. And so, I mean, imagine what lawlessness looks like if you take them away fully.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
Shameka, before we go any further, tell everyone who you are, because I know they're probably sitting here and wondering, like, well, wait a minute, I should know so much. And what about this? Tell everyone who you are.
Tell everybody who you are.
My name is Shameka.
All right.
Yes. So my name is Shameka Bogan. Been doing community work for a long time. I work for the Minnesota Senate, so I'm the legislative assistant for Senator Bobby Joe Champion.
All right, good clap. She got it.
Yes.
Come on, get that applause back there.
Yes.
All right.
He's been doing great things, for the city for a long time, and so I'm honored to work for his office. But within that, I've been doing Souls to the Polls work with getting people out to vote early. That's something that's near and dear to me and very important, because I think that when it comes to issues, regardless of what side you're on, yes, no, Democrat, Republican, you really have to get out and vote and realize that these things really affect our everyday life. And there are people that are making decisions on our behalf that sometimes we don't even know who they are. And so, yes.
I think it's going to be a split vote on this, Gloria. Are we the only state that is doing this, or is pretty much all eyes on the state of Minnesota on this one?
I feel like eyes are on Minnesota with this one, and I feel like it feels like an experiment to me. That's what it feels like. Yes. I can't speak to exactly what states this has came up in before, or kind of the history of that, but I feel like, ever since George Floyd was murdered, all eyes have been on Minnesota. And I feel like now this is just another thing for people to be like, okay, what's Minnesota going to do? Are they going to continue to go down this path of...
Yeah, so most people don't understand. Except most people, people that's in the black community, you got to understand what you're going out voting for. Now, if you vote yes on this thing, we might not have no more Cubs on West Broadway. We may not have no more grocery stores. This may be the it. This may be the end, like the end of times. So therefore, read up for when you go to the polls. And I just really feel like that we just quite don't understand this. I mean, you have some people out there are illiterate, and you got some people that don't understand it. You got some people may go to the poll. Hell, can you imagine somebody going to the poll voting for this, standing up there for waiting up the whole line? It's going to be a line because they don't pretty much understand it. I think it's going to be a 50-50 vote. I think white folks going to say no, and I think the majority of the ones may say yes. I think it's going to be a 50-50 split vote, and I think this thing may take a runoff.
Well, I'm hoping
it doesn't, because a lot of people, I see community organizations out there knocking on doors, trying to educate people, and people really coming up to people asking them, what I'm voting yes for, or what I'm voting no for. Right. I mean, they quite don't understand. And me personally, that I think this should even be up on the ballot. We got other issues in the state besides using our energy and concentrating on dismounting law enforcement. Now, you got to think about that when you vote yes on this, and then you out there getting robbed, carjacking, they up there robbing you, sticking you up, taking your bag. Just close your eyes and remember you won the poll and you voted yes.
You voted yes.
Now I'm gonna close my eyes and think I voted no because I want to go home, safe. But it's putting people really in the predicament. I think the Black Lives Matter movement, I think this young generation movement, that they want justice so much. They want justice and revenge so much is they voting for something that they don't understand.
Yeah.
Now,
I think this was rushed.
Yeah, rushed to it. Now,
not thought out.
Now, Shameka, tell them if they vote yes, what they voting for, and tell them what they vote no, what this means.
Yep. So for clarity, if you vote yes on this amendment, you are voting to defund the police and to dismantle the police department.
You hear that? Now say that again.
If you vote yes on this amendment, question number 2.
You see that? Hear that, y'all?
On the ballot, you are voting to defund and dismantle the police department.
All right.
In other words, you just did this.
Yep, you just did that.
To the police department.
Now, if you vote no, then what?
Yep. If you vote no,
you can go home safe. what?
You're hilarious. If you vote no, which is what I am highly recommending that you do.
Okay, you want to go? Okay.
But if you vote no, you are voting to keep the police department.
Yes.
And that is not saying that you don't believe that we need police reform, that you don't believe that we need changes, but you are saying that we do need a police department.
Absolutely.
Well, me and Gloria got to get some comments. Now, y'all go to our Facebook page, send us some comments.
Yes.
If
please
y'all
do.
See, now I'm voting no. So all the vote no's come to me. Okay, vote no, come to me. Now, for the ones that's out there, you confused and you don't understand it, you please reach out to Shameka. She will come to you or she'll call you to explain to you just the reason why. Don't let these folks go out there to intimidate you and tell you to vote. People that own homes, you own homes, look at this. This is a very, very touchy situation.
Yes,
the number is right up there on the screen. Now, Shameka, tell us what else coming up that people need to know about. Early voting?
Yes, early voting. Oh, yep. I brought you guys a flyer. Can they see it on the screen?
Look at that.
Yes, early voting.
Shameka gonna tell us a little bit about the early voting. Now, I went last Saturday. Well, no, that was Sunday, wasn't it?
Sunday.
Okay, Sunday. I was out there holding up a sign, and I felt kind of good. It was kind of chilly out there, but felt kind of good. I tell you, the food was delicious. I mean, I had red beans and rice and some jerk chicken, and they had KMOJ was out there playing the music. And
sounds nice.
And me and the state senator, he was out there trying to dance, but you know he got a little groove in there too. But he tried to dance, but everything was okay. Now they have another one coming up.
Yes, that is correct. So this coming Sunday.
Sunday?
Yep, from noon, which this Sunday is Halloween, so the 31st, from noon until 3 p.m. The address is 980 Hennepin Avenue East. So with early voting, if you are a resident of Minneapolis, you can vote at this location. So this is the only early voting location for Minneapolis. So if you're a resident of Minneapolis, the polls are open this Sunday from 12 to 5. We're having a Souls to the Polls block party from 12 to 3.
Okay.
And the idea is get your souls to the polls and vote.
It's going to be food there too, right?
And it's free food, Pimento Kitchen.
Pimento Kitchen?
Yeah, Pimento Kitchen with the good jerk chicken that you talked about.
All right. Okay.
We'll be out there. We'll also be out there grilling. DJ Bake Show Baker from KMOJ will be out there with music. And so it's just a free, fun block party. Just to encourage people to get out and vote.
All right. Before we let Shameka go, she's going to tell you, she's going to tell you right quick. Vote yes or vote no. Right quick.
Right quick.
Vote
no. I want to make it very clear.
Okay. Vote no.
Question number 2 on the Minneapolis ballot. I am encouraging a strong no vote on that.
Now, one more time before she go. Number yes mean what?
Defund the police and dismantle the police department.
Okay. Vote number 2.
2 means to keep the police.
Keep the police. So if you want to
keep
the police, if you want to keep your car, if you want to be safe, you want to keep your pocketbook, you know what I'm trying to say? But not, you got to go store and buy some mace and everything. So we thank you for having you, Shameka, on our show tonight. I told her at the last minute, and she said I will be here. I thank her for being here and being a woman of her word. And we gonna give her a big, oh man, can y'all hear that?
Yep.
She deserves it.
Thank you.
She actually deserves it. And thank her for being on the show. And we're going to take a quick commercial right quick for our next guest to come in. We're going to ask our producer to run some on the screen. Maybe he can run some about us on the screen.
About us,
about our show. So he's going to put up on the screen our website, our information that people how they can get in touch with us and about our show. We hopefully to have Miss Shameka back on our show again, hopefully with the senator, and she can talk about other issues that that we'll be facing. But more likely, this is going to be a hot thing on the ballot. I don't think the mayor's race is important. I think the mayor's race is important, and I think the city council is important. But I think this one, I think all eyes is on this one. I think all eyes, and I mean, the news media have not been talking about this much.
Mm-mm.
As a part of the
Yeah, Channel 9, Channel 5, they haven't been talking about this too much. But I tell you, when hell break loose, ooh, they all gonna be talking about it pretty soon. All right, thank you, Mr. Mika. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's right. Just all right, we back here. We took a short commercial, and we thank Ms. Tamika for coming in and sharing with us. And our last guest for the evening is a young man that's running for mayor of the city of Minneapolis, and many of you probably seen them, have even heard of them, but I heard of them, and I think everybody deserve actually chance, opportunity, and we decided to put him on our show because we want to know about Mr. Perry and who he is and why he's running for mayor of the city of Minneapolis. Give him a big applause as we introduce Mr. Perry. Come on. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much, Brother John.
No problem.
Gloria.
No
I
problem.
appreciate that
Thank
opportunity.
you for coming.
So, Mr. Perry, so what made you decide to run for mayor of the city of Minneapolis, and what is your passion?
Well, this young man asked me recently, he said, well, have you always dreamt of being a politician? And absolutely not. I have two beautiful little girls. I got a 13-year-old Lamira and 5-year-old Janelle. And just seeing the current condition of our city and having multiple conversations with the mayor, trying to get him to move on certain things that he has the power, the authority, and the mandate from the people that elected him to do. And he is choosing not to do it. It's affecting a lot of lives in the city, specifically the African-American community, whether we're talking about education, whether we're talking about youth and young adult outreach. Affordable housing is a big one, and I said I was going to stop saying affordable housing because they are putting a lot of money into that, but it's not affordable, especially not for our community.
You're right.
We have to go back to a public housing structure to where we're not giving millions of dollars to private developers and letting them enrich themselves and then charge whatever they want to charge for rent, and the city not return anything, any benefits from that. The city should retain ownership. There's a building right down the street from my house that the city gave $12 million to build this building, and that money is essentially gone down the drain. When the city, if they're paying for the construction, why not retain ownership over it? And then the money that's being paid for rent can be going back into the city system to maintain those properties and to build more properties. Public housing should be 30% of a person's income. What's affordable to you may not be affordable to me. What's affordable to me may not be affordable to you. It has to be individualized so that every single person can genuinely afford housing in the city of Minneapolis. We all say housing is a human right. It's one thing to say it. My grandma said it all the time, actions speak louder than words. You can say whatever you want to say, but until you put it into action, then it means absolutely nothing. We have people literally sleeping on the sidewalks in our city. And it's something that even my 5-year-old baby is bothered by, to where she's like, well, Dad, can we take him something today? We're taking water and taking snacks and stuff down there. We went and barbecued a few times. There are things that the mayor can do, and he has an over $1 billion budget to be able to do it. We used to say we didn't have money, even pathways to home ownership, small business reconciliation, Lake Street. We still have piles of rubble lining Lake Street, and we're almost 2 years out. Yeah. and we're just choosing not to do anything. People are getting traumatized over and over every time they drive past these things.
I'm traumatized just by keep looking at it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this: why do you think that is?
I used to think that that they just didn't have the ideas, like, well, maybe they're trying to figure out what to do with it. And then, like I said, after having multiple conversations with leadership, after hearing other people, and after seeing community, there's communities on the ground like never before, fighting every single day for these things to be done. So it's not that the leadership has to draw up a brand new plan and figure out what to do. All they have to do is come to community and support what's already being done. Put the power behind it, put the resources behind it, and tap into what's already there. Again, in all of those areas, we got education advocates out here, youth and young adult outreach, family advocates, and that's a big thing too. A lot of this starts at home, and a lot of us don't want to say that, because we don't want to take accountability for ourselves, or we don't want to blame something on somebody else. But we have to do this. We can't get to accountability without transparency. So just putting it out there, we all make mistakes, and even parenting, it's an on-the-job training type of thing, especially if you didn't have the best of the best as far as training and education.
Do you have any if there's any black community leaders or any black organization are supporting you? Because they always the black community always say, to encourage us to do good, to encourage us if we see something, run for office and do this and that. And sometimes it hurts me when I see young men like himself or any young person, not of color or Caucasian, is running for office, but they don't get that support from the older people who's telling them, well, you can make that change if you run for office. You can make that change if you run for senator. You can be a next Barack Obama. You can be a next that. But do you feel that the black community is supporting black candidates, or they just laying by the sideline saying, oh, he ain't gonna have a chance. I ain't have a chance. I don't want to do that. So are you getting any support from the black community?
Not as much as I feel like I could be getting. And I think a part of it's what you said, where people just don't have faith. And then a lot of it is they're entangled in what's already going on too. Whether we're talking about party systems, business, even a lot of the nonprofit organizations, they're in financial relationships with the current leadership. We have community groups that have been on the ground for 15 and 20 years and have not received any funding from the city. But as in the last 6 or 7 months, all of a sudden they're getting all of this money coming from the cities, almost as if they think we can be bought. And to a certain extent, some of us have been, and we even seen the situation over in George Floyd Square where we had a group of brothers, strong brothers, community-oriented, agape. They're holding down George Floyd Square, they got the 24 demands up. They're telling the city, we want this for this community. We want investments in this community. We want jobs for the youth. We want tax breaks for the residents, the homeowners. We want the businesses to get blessed that have been going through all of this heartache and pain for the last 2 years. And they have not received anything out of it. The city came in, offered almost $500,000, and these brothers backed up. Not only did they back up, they had them start helping take apart what the community had been working on all this time. Money, I said it recently. My grandma, she said a lot of wise things, but she said money's the root of all evil.
You know what? And I was going to say something. I think Gloria will agree with me. And all that money, all that funding that they have, we got some well-educated black community leaders, pastors, churches, organizations. Do you think that they can use that money in Broadway can look like something? I'm serious.
Of course.
That money, Broadway can look like something. If you notice, when I moved up here, and I'm gonna be quick, I moved up here in '89, and do you know is that Broadway still look the same? It ain't nothing changed on Broadway. When you get off the freeway and you go all the way down to the borderline of Robbinsdale and Minneapolis. So once you get to Robbinsdale, North Mayorial Hospital, then you see Hy-Vee. And then it's like as soon as you cross the bridge from going that way, it's a problem. And I think that it's actually, problem with, why we can't bring black businesses in our black community. Now, we say we want black business in our community. We all say, oh, support.
Absolutely.
But half of us only support the black business in our community. You know, you got Sammy's over there on the corner. We rather go take our money to McDonald's, or we rather take our money to Wendy's and or Taco Bell or places like that don't even need it. See, sometimes we gotta look at our own self too and say, listen here, we can't point fingers at somebody else. We got 4 pointing back at us when we don't support our own businesses. You know,
That's right.
You got people like Gloria. She sell African stuff. You know, she did good at the Actually Fair. You know, people don't know. So we have to start supporting our own black business, and we have to be that example too. And we got to start supporting African American men and women that's young entrepreneurs that's trying to get something started. Listen here, we old school. You know, we in our 50s and 60s, some of these communities in their 60s and 70s. It's time for us to retire. It's time for us to hand that baton down to someone else that can run this journey.
Absolutely, and that's one of my biggest commitments that I'm making to the community, that we will start one black business every single month of all the 48 months that are in a 4-year term in my mayoralship. Broadway, North Minneapolis, period, used to be one of the most vibrant black communities in the state of Minnesota, and it was intentionally tore apart. They brought Highway 94. Black folks picked up, relocated, God start doing his thing, and we was getting back to it. They said, no, you're doing too good. Here comes Interstate 35. They have intentionally targeted our communities over and over and over again. And we keep allowing it to do it, and we keep voting the same people in. You know, I was telling somebody, my grandma voted Democrat, my mom voted Democrat, I voted Democrat, just because that's the way that we voted. But people, we have to start voting for our values, our morals, and not for a party. So I've been telling people, I'm not running to represent the Democrats. I'm not running to represent the Republicans. I'm running to represent the people of Minneapolis. We already have so many things that divide us. We have to find common ground. You know, people are losing their lives every single day in the city, including our babies. We got Princess Anaya, 6 years old, shot in the head. Trinity, Prince LaDavion, you know, still fighting to get back to himself. Prince London. And we just move past those things because we're dealing with so much pain in all these other areas that we just act as if it didn't happen. When those families still don't have closure, nobody's been arrested, and we're still experiencing records level of violence in this city, and the leadership is doing absolutely nothing about it when 85% of that violence is targeting black people, according to their data. They're giving those numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, I wanted to let Mr. Perry kind of just tell us, who are you, for those that don't know?
Okay. Well, I already got the most important part. Proud father, 33 years old, born and raised in the Twin Cities. My whole life I've been here. I currently sit on the Minnesota Governor State Advisory Council, Local Advisory Council for Children's Mental Health, as the vice chair. I'm the vice chair of the Parent Policy Council for CAP-RW, which is Community Action Partnership. My baby.
See, a lot of people didn't know that. See there? You're walking past this man every day. Every day. And some of y'all community leaders, see there? See? Right him. See? He doing exactly what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing. Keep on talking. Talk on.
And have worked for the last 13 years for as a facilities director at Arnold P. Williams Community Outreach Center in St. Paul, which is a product of River of Life Christian Church, and that's in St. Paul. We got Waters of Life Outreach Center, which is over north on Russell and Dowling. So we've been connected in community, run food shelves. We run a 12-step free and deed program, Too Smart to Start for the kids, to where we can hopefully keep them out of the way of having to go on the 12-step free and deed, you know, and just putting the resources out there, trying to get people connected to different things, even working with the homeless. We've been doing that, trying to get people connected with their IDs, with their Social Security card, with their birth certificates. A lot of them people lost everything, you know, and are getting denied from different resources because they don't have these pieces of verification. When even the city, I've been petitioning Mayor Fry, help these people. Quit traumatizing them more and more by displacing them more and more, when we can meet them where they're at, just as God would have done for any one of us, and see what it is that we can do to get them out of that situation. Those people don't want to be there. People don't want to be sleeping out on the sidewalks.
Do you think that some of our black community leaders have so much faith in they have so much faith in some of these white politicians, but don't have any faith in some of the black politicians?
Absolutely. And then even things where we scrutinize each other's motives a lot more than we would theirs. You know, when I can come in with a campaign shirt on because I've been out campaigning all day, and somehow you think that I came to make your event political, and yet you have this man get up on the stage and start talking all of his political talking points, and it's okay. And me even knowing, you know, had I did that, y'all would have came up, took the microphone, and put me out the door. You know, we have to have the same expectations, you know, and even afford each other those opportunities, knowing that these people are not going to give them to us. We've been watching. My mom called me yesterday crying because she's watching a mayoral debate on TV and she don't see her son, and she knows that I'm on the ground every single day. But the one African American man that's been in the race is not on the TV.
See, no, that's wait. They having a mayor's debate. There's not a person of color. Y'all hear that? They having a mayor's debate tonight. There's not a person of color.
And several of them. No
there are African American person of color that's on that debate stage. Now, we as the black community should be outraged. But community news, we are outraged. People of color, it don't matter if people think you don't have a chance, you should still be on there. You should at least give us the opportunity, or give him the opportunity to go on there to express himself. See, that makes us a hypocrite. Why encourage young people and young men to run for office, be a change, be a counselor, be a doctor, be a lawyer when they don't get when you don't encourage them? I was sitting, Gloria, at a meeting, and they was talking about these people that's running for city council, and it was this person ain't got a chance, this person ain't got a chance, this person ain't got a chance, this person ain't got a chance.
And,
you know what I'm saying? But it was,
and they're looking at money.
Exactly.
You know, the way we've been trained versus looking at moral
So
value.
they support the ones that got the more money in the cookie jar. See, the more money in the cookie jar, the more money for the ones that will support them. Hell, do you think people gonna go out there doing dope knocking if they ain't getting no money? Trust me, some of these big organizations is not going out there knocking on doors for none of these high rollers that's running for office in your neighborhood. See, they paying people to canvass the neighborhood, okay? It ain't no paying them to canvass the neighborhood. We got to be careful who we go to the polls. We got to be careful who we listen to, because all black community leaders do not represent you. You hear me? Right. They do. When people get on TV saying, I represent the black community, who? You don't represent me. You don't speak for me. So next time somebody come in get in your face and say, I represent the black community, you get up and say, you ain't representing me.
That's exactly
because that's a problem. Right. We had some bad representation, and that's the way the community looking today. So therefore, start supporting yourself. You start getting involved. Be your own leader. Don't be a follower. We got to stop following these people. They gonna follow us to hell. That's why our community look like it's looking now. We keep on following these leaders. It's time for us to start following people that have our best interests in heart.
That's right.
Gloria.
That's right. I just I'm just listening to you, and just the way you speak and the passion you have, and every single point that you hit on, it matters.
Talk, Gloria.
And I feel that. And whether or not you were to win this race, you're a person that should be at that table representing
That's right. Get applause. Yes,
North
right.
Minneapolis
Right.
and Minneapolis as a whole.
That's right.
Especially
a little louder.
for our minority communities
That's
and
right.
people of color. We are not equally represented. We are not equally looked at in any category of life. And I'm saying life, period.
All of it.
That comes from our education, to our housing, to our food sources.
Absolutely.
Quality of food source. Look down North Minneapolis and Broadway. Quality.
Ain't no quality.
Food desert.
It's the press.
How many places you can take your two daughters to go sit down and eat?
Nowhere.
And that's got to change. Even family entertainment. We don't have a roller skating rink, a movie theater,
a bowling
alley.
Nothing.
Where we have to take all of our money outside of the city. And that, I see that as intentional too, because Broadway, prime real estate, there's vacant buildings. Give those buildings to the community and let the community decide what they're going to do with them. Why would we be sitting letting those, where dead body was found in the building? Like, why are we just letting this happen? It's intentional. When the city can be doing things to constructively bring the community together, bring the city together, but bring this community together and invest. But instead of investing, they have been consistently divesting. And even when you guys were talking about the police department, our current mandate is for 888 officers. According to city data, only 10% of them lived in the city. That's 800 officers that were coming from other cities, coming here, earning a paycheck from Minneapolis taxpayers and taking their money back to their cities, paying their property taxes, funding their schools, funding their children's recreation centers, all of it. Millions of dollars, over $90 million every single year, and that's just with the officers. That does not include the police staff.
Right. And you're absolutely right.
And it's intentional, and we have to say that we will no longer tolerate that.
That's right.
We have to have a list of demands to say this is what we want, and if you're going to be the candidate to give it to us, then we're going to support that. But when you've had 4 years to show us what you're made of, I was talking about what my grandma said earlier, not my grandpa. He said, when a man tells you who he is, when he shows you who he is, believe him the first time. We cannot keep putting our lives and the lives of our children in the hands of people that have proven they could not care less about us.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. 100%. And we have to start looking at it. We have to look at our own selves in the mirror.
Right, Gloria.
We really do.
Yes, ma'am.
Because everything you said is so true. And part of our issue, too, is the fact that we do have community leaders that can say something,
yes, ma'am,
that can put us at the table.
Come on.
That's right.
But because they're concerned about the little pocket that they're going to get and where it's going to stay, and I got to keep mine, and I'm so-and-so, so-and-so,
And
we're left out there
Ms. Gloria,
again.
and I understand exactly what you're saying. And my thing was, I didn't want to get wrapped up in that because what is in front of us was too important, and I didn't want to get sidetracked because a lot of that is
Yes.
distractions, pure distractions. But then again, I go back to you can't have accountability unless you have transparency, and transparency calls for, unfortunately, calling some of those people out and saying their names. You know, I don't know if you've been deceived this long. I don't know if you're confused or if you just don't know, but this is what's going on. So now you can make the decision to keep doing that or to do what's right by the community and start speaking on what's needed and necessary to bring the changes that we need right now.
Absolutely.
Right now.
And I just want to say to you, no matter what happens and where this lands,
That's right, Gloria.
we want to continue to hear from you.
Yep. Yep.
Matter of fact, we want to make you a friend of the show.
Yep.
We want to continue to hear from you because you are sitting in the middle of where it all is, where it's all happening, and you're a part of it.
Yep, and you
a part of the solution.
And you are, and on the behalf now most people out there want to know how much money are you working with? That's what some of them watching right now. He might ain't have no money to run. He might ain't have no money to run. He gonna ask you your question. Yeah.
I ain't even going to tell you how much money I'm working with. I'm going to tell you that I'm one of the candidates that have raised the least amount of money, but I have spent the most amount in the community.
That's all you need to know. And you know what? And community news, we support you. We support you 100%. And people that's out there, you go to the polls and you vote for this young man. This is what the community been talking about. I'm a prime product. They was telling me, John, do something. You talk a lot. Do something with you. I did something. Now I'm talking. Got moments I'm talking.
Yes.
So therefore,
Vote your heart.
Vote your heart. Vote your heart. And when people encourage, to see a young man like this, people, other organizations should be running, to it. Like I said, be careful who you support and be careful just be careful, black folks. Be careful. Thank you so much, Mr. Perry, for being on the show. In closing, would you like to have something to say? We won't dare close this show out without you having the final word on this show, man.
Well, I sure will. Thank you for the opportunity. I would just say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Miss Gloria. Thank you, Brother John, for the opportunity. We are in our city's most pivotal point. It's over 171-year history. We all know what we're facing: racial reconciliation, education reconciliation, youth and young adult outreach, affordable housing, home ownership, small business reconciliation, small business ownership, public safety, climate justice. We know what we are facing. But God has blessed us with a very unique opportunity to change so many things right now. They used to say we didn't have the money. We got $135 million extra last year. We're getting another $135 million this coming May. That's in addition to our already over $1 billion city budget. Money can no longer be used as an excuse to leave us out. Please, we got to hold these people accountable now, because even with the election, we still got months away and people are dying every single day in our city. So use your voice, use your vote, use your power. It's going to take way more than just you. So make sure you take your mom, your dad, your son, your daughter, your nieces, your nephews. Take your grandma, even if you got to push the wheelchair like I do. Grandma's going to the polls, okay? Do what you got to do to get out and vote, because our lives and our livelihoods depend on this election. The lives and livelihoods of our children depend on this election, and the very future of our city depends on your vote. Please get out and cast a vote for Mayor Perry to serve the people of Minneapolis. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Thank
you so much for being up on our show. And I tell you, Gloria,
Well,
it has been a good show tonight.
hey, that wraps it up. I think we've done our job tonight. What you think?
Hey, 3 guests on. I think we did good. Hey, like us on
people have
Facebook.
spoken.
Like us on Facebook, Gloria. Tell them about our website.
Our website is still under construction.
Okay, but you can reach us on Facebook,
Community News.
You can use, and thank you so much for being our guest tonight. You at home. Thank you so much. You know what? You made me and Gloria night. Until next time, Community News.
You can use
with John
and Gloria Tuesday
night.
night, 7 p.m.
Hey.